Hi, my name is Kevin Leon. I am the drum set instructor and jazz ensemble instructor here at Scrollworks. I've been teaching at Scrollworks for about three and a half years.
I'm Jessica, and I have been involved in Scrollworks since October-ish of 2008, and I started out as a student here, but now I work in the office and I manage the site on Saturdays and I make the videos.
I'm William Scruggs, and I've been teaching drum set and flute here since October of 2008.
I am Chris Barbee. I teach theory, voice lessons, and choir, and I've been working here almost exactly a year.
My name's Sam Herman, and I teach percussion here. I've been teaching with Scrollworks since the fall of 2009.
My name is Meg Ford. I'm a strings instructor here at Scrollworks. I'm a junior music composition major at Birmingham Southern College, and I play the violin and viola. I taught at Wilkerson for a year, and then I taught at Scrollworks just this past summer, so about maybe half a year. My first job teaching at Scrollworks was teaching a small string ensemble at a school over by Birmingham Southern called Wilkerson Middle School. I was basically just their coach. I came in once or twice during the week whenever I could so that I could just help them with their pieces and then sometimes give them a little bit of individual attention with their instruments, technically speaking. So that was my first job working at Scrollworks. And then this past summer I started doing the summer camp here at Scrollworks with group classes and such like that.
When I first started teaching at Scrollworks, I started at Hill Elementary School. I guess it's on the north side. And I was teaching groups of 20 to 30 kids in one classroom. I did that for at least a year, and I taught a little bit at Cave 9, and then eventually we started slowly moving into the Highlands United Methodist Church.
When I first started teaching here, I was subbing for Kevin Leon out at North Star, teaching drum set lessons.
I started teaching at Scrollworks while they were already at the Highland United Methodist location, but I had been to Scrollworks when they were still at Cave 9.
I started teaching when Scrollworks did walk-in lessons at Cave 9 on Saturday, and I think Friday too. I work Saturday, so.
Yeah, so we've been here, we were here in Cave 9, and then there was
Green Cup, the attic above Green Cup.
and then there was the Hill Elementary,
and then
we
here,
came here.
to this beautiful space.
And then also, yes, we love it here because in Cave 9, every instrument was in one room. And
Drum set had the upstairs, but it was really kind of like lofty.
it was like a balcony
so
type.
all of the sound just.
But so now here in the Highlands, we have one room for every instrument, and it is glorious.
Scrollworks has evolved into, so we have separate rooms now for all the instruments, which is really awesome, because it used to be all instruments in the same room. So that's definitely a good thing that we can separate the snare drums from the kids learning guitar / violin, piano. I think they can probably focus better.
When I first started, like I said, I was teaching at Hill Elementary School to groups of 20 to 30 kids. It was madness. And sometimes I had smaller groups of 4, 5, maybe 6 kids. But it was just sort of haphazard, you know, lots of people in one room, me trying to talk over a bunch of loud kids, and then being, you know, kids and all over the place. And now the difference is it's like night and day. The biggest class I have right now is a jazz ensemble of 6 to 8 kids, and I have private lessons. All the lessons are very organized as one-on-one. You know, all the kids get special individual attention. So it's like a real school now. It's great.
We were doing it even when we were starting out at Cave 9, which I don't think is around anymore, on Saturdays. Those first couple of times, it was maybe just a couple of kids off the street dropping in. And we'd show them, and they didn't really get it, and they'd walk away, and we didn't really get what wasn't working. But there were still, even in the first couple of days, there were those moments where a kid's life can change before your eyes. He's holding a trumpet for the first time, and he makes the darn thing make sound finally. And that's I'm not being overly dramatic to say a turning point in a kid's life. You know?
At Cave 9 and Green Cup before, I mean, really up until like the summer before last.
Yeah,
we started.
We even had walk-ins when we were here at Highlands.
Had walk-ins, and so like there would be days where I'd come in at 12 because it was mostly 12 to 4. I'd come in at 12 and chill and hang out with other teachers from like 12 until like 3:45, 15 minutes, you know, before we'd leave, and all of a sudden, what do you know, 15 people decide they want to play drums and they show up 15 minutes before we leave. So like every student got like a 1-minute drum lesson.
Yeah, lots of times there was an influx of there's only one guitar teacher, but there's 4 people in line who want guitar lessons. So whoever your most advanced student who happens to still be here, can you start this person on the beginner lesson?
Yeah.
I think you can see real development in all the students now, whereas before there may have been some development in the kids that could grasp onto the things that were thrown at them, and you know that was sort of the style it had to be done in, because you have a room full of, you know, wild kids, and you're trying to pump them full of information, but it can be quite difficult. So now that they're getting individual attention, you can see each of them develop, each of them grow, and each of them retain all the things that you're handing them personally.
And then we also have private lessons here, which is a change from when we first started being involved with Scrollworks.
Everything was private.
Yes, and it was just walk in. You could come in off the street, 2:15. Hey, I think I want to take a drum lesson, and then just go get one. Now it's a lot more organized. We have, you know, a set schedule. This person's taking a class at 11. This person's taking a class at 11:30, and it's also better because we can integrate the kids
into ensembles based on like skill level where we can really see, and it's better for both students and teachers really, because it basically allows teachers to make their students practice, and also allows teachers to set a curriculum, a continuous curriculum, which helps the students as well as just gives a basic idea, and you don't have crazy moments during the day.
Well, definitely one of the big changes that we made has been our swap to group classes. Personally, I wasn't too sure about that. I knew it would be different for sure, but I think it's really helped everyone a lot. Not only can we get more children in here to get more classes and such like that, but I really think it helps with just the kids being able to interact with each other as well. It's not so, this is your private lesson, this is you being put on the spot to play this music for me. It's more just interaction with other kids their age, and I just think that the kids like the group classes a lot more in that sense.
The lessons have also become more ensemble minded. They want, I guess there still are private lessons, which is good, but they want to make the kids a part of a group, which is very cool. It helps build that, I guess, feeling of community, and also teaches the kids from the get-go how to be a part of an ensemble.
Right, and that's something that I feel like is very important from the get-go, being a part of an ensemble, because some of my earlier students I was just teaching one-on-one drum set lessons, and when they finally did get a chance to play with somebody else, they had never had an experience, they had never worked on that before, so it's a good thing to have incorporated at this point.
The way we're teaching now, we do group lessons for the strings and brass and other orchestral instruments, and it's really good because it helps the kids create not only friends, but a better way to bond with each other, so that when they play in a group, they can kind of feel, they can connect and feel how the mood of the song is and how they want to play it.
And really, even the group lessons act as an ensemble with less of, well, still with that playing together mentality, and that creating one unique, one organized piece of art, but also allowing the instructor to really hammer technique home, but also in that group setting. And it also contributes and forces it creates another motivation outside of the teacher for kids to practice. Instead of having only the teacher, okay, you need to practice this, you need to practice this, you have the kid sitting to the right or the left who can play that part like nobody's business, and you're like, I can't do that. And that becomes an internal motivator so you can keep up with the person. So.
Miss Carolyn and I saw this in one of our morning classes, I think last week. It made me really excited. There were these two kids, and one of them had missed the lesson from the week before because she had something to do. And the other kid was actually like taking her fingers and moving them around and like placing her elbow like me and Miss Caroline do during class, and just helping her learn the music that we had taught them last week. It was really, really cool, and it made both me and Caroline very happy to see. That was just a really cool thing.
They're already learning how to be a part of an ensemble, and not just learning how to play the instrument, but learning how their instrument fits in the context of an orchestra or in the context of, you know, whatever group they're playing with. They're also learning, I think, in some ways how to teach others. Caroline's talked about that, about some of her violin students helping each other with whatever it is that they're working on. So, you know, as beginning students, they're already learning how to teach what they know to other people, which is extremely important. You know, that's the point of all this, right? Is to give them music so that they can give music to others. So it's, you know, very cool to see them already, I guess, you know, passing that knowledge and skill onto others. What, like maybe a month or two after they're learning it.
And one of my classes has a couple of older students, and as well as several students who haven't been taking lessons as long as they have. So so I see that every week. I've got the two students that have been taking about 6 months longer who are able to help the younger kids out during the lessons.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And we were all in a closet, like smaller than this room. And there were maybe 5 of us, and we all, each from different angles, we all knew that the lack of music education in the Birmingham city schools was sucking the soul out of this place. And in the same way that I mentioned a second ago, like, my identity comes from having had the opportunity to study music coming up, and I just don't even know if I would be here anymore without that. And we each knew in our own way that nobody in the Birmingham schools had that opportunity. And so what were they to do? And so the 5 of us in that closet like set out to change that and to bring music education to this community. Now 5 years later, I walk in here and I see like there are sign-up tables. If your last name is A through M, and that's compared to like the little Honda Element that we carried all of our, you know, rusty, old, rotting violins around, and to see this now, like hundreds of kids coming together and meeting each other, and parents meeting other parents, and they're all from different schools. That's just awesome. That was the dream, and now it's happening. I missed it. I was there for everybody telling us no part, but now I come back and see that it's succeeded, and that makes me really happy.
As I started teaching at Scrollworks, it's been like watching a baby grow up. When I first started here, it was like a newborn, you know, just developing and in the almost the embryonic stages. But, you know, just sort of, it was almost like an idea just coming to life. And it's been amazing over the past 3 years or so how it's really formed and turned into a real organization, becoming obviously much more organized and much more focused in its plan and goals. So it's been pretty amazing.